Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Forrest out in St. Louis, being a little bit geeky here, thinking about going over some ways to use social media to work with clients to help life be a little bit easier in communicating. And one of the things that I thought about was how could I use StreamYard in terms of just practical business demonstration. I know we use Zoom a lot for doing Zooms and webinars and things like that, but being able to bring somebody in really quickly and really easily to be able to show them something on a screen and walk them through a presentation. So I set up, and I was thinking about this more from a practical standpoint of me not even really doing the presentation, just bringing the presentation. I actually tested it in the group. It was very, very cool. It looked like it worked. So this coming Sunday at high noon Central Time, I'm going to be streaming right here where I'm actually going to bring in a business presentation, and I'm going to sort of set off to the side. It should work. I tested it earlier. It's going to be very, very cool. And I think from a business standpoint, as a network marketer, as a business builder, as someone who's maybe brand new, who doesn't know how to do the presentation, and I've been listening to people talk about this as doing presentations, which is the number two part in what we do in putting our business in front of people. You got two options. One, you can reach out to somebody and say, hey, are you open to look at my opportunity? And of course, Robert would reply back and say, hey, Robert, what's going on? Robert would reply back and say, yeah, I'll take a look at it. And then you send them a link, right? You send them a link and you ask them how soon can they watch it. And then sometimes they just sort of disappear. They ghost you. I don't know if people ghost you because they're too afraid to say no, or they think they're going to hound you or whatever. But what I've seen is quite a few people I've been talking to, some of my coaching clients, have actually started doing a little bit different technique where they're actually saying, hey, Robert, when are you available to watch your presentation? And they're actually saying, sort of going old school using new technology, right? So Robert would say, yeah, I'm ready to watch the presentation. And you'd say, okay, Robert, what time are you going to be available? And he might say now, he may say 7:30 or whatever time it is, right? So let's say he says, I'm going to be ready at 7:30 tomorrow. I say, great, I'm going to put you on my calendar. And at 7:30 tomorrow, I'm going to hook up with you. I'm going to contact you live, right? It's going to be me and you one-on-one. I'm going to do the presentation. I'm going to show you the presentation. But here's the cool thing about it is, rather than go in and actually do the presentation here, and I'll show you this really quick. I'm going to pull up sort of a mock deal. I just did it. I'm not going to play the presentation. I just want to give you a general idea. So actually copy my link, hit close. Let me go here. I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to go ahead and load this stuff up so y'all can see what I'm talking about in terms of getting it going. So let me hit watch here. So what would happen, say, for example, I would talk to Robert. Robert say, yeah, sure, I want to watch the presentation with you. I'd set a time. I'd send him a message 15 minutes before, say, Robert, we're scheduled to meet here in about 15 minutes. Make sure you're in front of your computer. Make sure you've got, if you got to plug in some headphones or whatever so you can listen to do that. So I'm going to get Robert on the phone. I'm going to bring up my StreamYard. I'm going to have my presentation, my recorded presentation ready to go. This works best on a split screen. You can't do this on an iPad. I don't believe you can do a screen share on an iPad from StreamYard. So you're definitely going to have to do it on a computer. Hey, Tamara, thanks for swinging by. Hey, Sharice, thanks for swinging by. So Robert would be agreed. I'd get him on. I'd send him my link. I'd share him my invite link to StreamYard. He'd come up in the StreamYard and he would be ready to go. And of course, at that time, he and I would both be in the StreamYard stream. And then I would go ahead and click share the screen. And this is where this gets really cool, because I can simply hit share screen and I bring my presentation up and it's all ready to go. So when he's ready to rock and roll, I simply hit play and it starts playing. And the only thing that I noticed here is, depending on what your speakers look like, I use a JBL. I use a little JBL speaker. It gets a little bit bassy. So depending on what kind of audio speakers you have going on, because it's actually going to be the speaker coming through the camera that they're going to hear, but I tested in a group and it wasn't bad. It sounded really, really good when I listened to it back on my iPhone. It played back very, very well. So I can literally walk him through. So he and I, Robert would be here, maybe above me or below me, and I would hit play, and I could actually walk him through this presentation without me really having to say anything. I just hit play on the presentation. Presentation starts playing, and I can walk him through and do the presentation, whether it's a recorded presentation, even maybe a recorded presentation from somebody in your upline leadership might do a presentation, maybe it's a recorded presentation. But the cool thing about this is once the presentation is done, the follow-up happens right now, right? And you could even walk through the process of, hey, do you have any additional questions about what you just saw? And you can actually pause the presentation, say, do you have any questions? And you get it. Your goal isn't to be the tool. Your goal is to simply write down those questions. If there is any additional questions, and just move them through the presentation. And of course, when you get to the end of the presentation, you would say, so where do you see yourself getting started? You see yourself getting started as A, B, or C, or customer, wherever the presentation went. You would have an opportunity to close them right there on the spot, which would be very, very neat. Now watch this. So in the presentation, when I'm doing this, before I started, I'm going to say Tamara is my upline leader. I'm going to send her a text message, say, Tamara, I just want you to know I'm getting ready to do a presentation with Robert. We've got a schedule for 7:30. Are you going to be available so I can do some follow-up? So here's where the follow-up comes in. It's very, very neat with this technology I'm thinking about. And I definitely can't wait to try this because I want to share a real practical application. Any of y'all want to jump on and try it before me and share the results, it's cool. So now that I've got Robert here, he's watched the presentation, I'm going to say, hold on, Robert, real quick. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and send my upline leader the link so I can now bring him or her in to the presentation into the StreamYard. I'm going to say, hold on, boom, and I'm going to bring him on and introduce my team leader to Robert. So we're now all three on camera asking the questions, and I'm going to let my leader go to work. So it's all visual. It's all one-on-one. The same thing you would do if you had a coffee meeting at a Starbucks or the old-fashioned stuff. So we're bringing the old-fashioned school to new school, so everybody's here, so you can move a lot faster through the enrollment process of getting people moving forward rather than hiding behind the computer and being all timid about, hey, let's go, let's get this rocking and rolling. The cool thing about it, then the upline leader can come in and say, okay, here's what we need to do next, right? Here's our next step. We need to get a start training. We need to get you in a team training. We need to set you up for a getting started training, a launch party. And the cool thing with StreamYard is you can do all of this. You can actually record the session. You don't have to go live. So you can do like a record only option. So you don't have to actually stream live in any groups or on Facebook. You can actually do this in a private setting where it's a record only setting inside StreamYard. So it's very, very cool. Just like Zooming with somebody, it's a private link. So you don't have to actually push it out to Facebook. You can actually just Zoom and you actually do the StreamYard. You can record it. So if you need to record it, you can and save it. And of course, you can share the recording with whoever. So very cool opportunity. I thought I'd share that with you. So this coming Sunday at noon Central Time, I'm actually going to do a live presentation doing exactly what I just said. So for anybody that wants to jump in and watch and see how it works, I'm going to do it live this coming Sunday. I'm going to pull the presentation in. I'm going to do the screen share. And I'm going to sit over here on the side and just watch and just sort of see how many people. And I'm actually going to stream the presentation live to my Facebook page, my Facebook timeline, probably a couple other channels as well, because I want to see what kind of interaction I get. And this is what I always tell my coaching clients. I said, the best way to find out if something works is to take action. Don't think about it. Just be about it, right? Just step up and do it. And I think it's going to be a really cool, it's going to be, I think, a dynamic curve in how we do our presentations for our businesses, taking a little bit of the old school, agreeing to meet somebody for coffee, confirming the appointment before we get there. Cool thing about it is they can sit in, and I might tell Robert, dude, you don't need to get dressed up, wear a t-shirt and put on your pajama bottoms, because we're going to be me and you. It's going to be a private chat. We're going to be talking, and I want to show you the presentation. And after the presentation, I'll be available for some questions. Now, I'm not going to tell him I'm going to bring on my upline leader because he's always going to bring on a closer. I'm going to do that at the end of the call. I'm going to text them and let them know we've got something going on. I think it's going to be really cool. So step one of this is this coming Sunday. I'm going to do an actual live presentation on my timeline. I'm going to pull in the presentation. It's going to be very, very cool. fingers crossed, everything works like I just said it does. I'm excited now. I'm getting more excited about it the more I think about it. So it's going to be very cool to bring the presentation in and a live presentation on Facebook Live to see how that part of it goes. And of course, I'm going to work on implementing the other half of that and doing actual agreed to meetings with people that want to do the presentation. That's going to be a lot of posturing there, because sending the text message 15 minutes before, say, hey, Robert, we got a meeting scheduled for 15 minutes. Here's the meeting link that I need you to go ahead and get ready to jump on and make sure you're in a position. And I'm going to set that up before the call and say, hey, very, very important. We're going to be streaming live, me and you. It's going to be a private chat, but I need you to make sure that you're in a place that is well lit, got good audio, or wherever it's quiet, so you won't be distracted, so we can go through this business presentation. It's going to take about 20 minutes to be able to do that. So I think that's going to be really cool. I'm excited to move that into my method of operation and being able to close people faster, to get them through the presentation, get the answer coming out the back end. And they're either going to close as a customer, or they're going to close as a business partner. I have no doubt about that. They're going one or the other. There's no like, yeah, I'm out. It's business partner or customer. They're going to close for sure. But the cool thing about it is I'm going to have them right in front of me, looking at them, basically talking to their eyeballs. They can see me. They can see my facial expressions. They can see how excited I am, and I can do the voice tones. And I can do all that stuff. And I can do the presentation, I can do the intro, and I can welcome them on, I can watch the video, I can walk them through, I can ask them how they want to get started. I can bring in a three-way if I need to bring in a three-way and do an introduction and walk them through the setup for the launch party and the getting started training and the team training, all that stuff. I think it's going to be very cool. So has a Black Friday deal. I don't know if they do, Charisse, I'm not sure if they have a Black Friday deal or not. I think I have some kind of like affiliate link thingy that I can share with anybody that wants one somewhere. They don't really have an affiliate program. It's like you get people signed up and they give you like a month free or something. But if they do have a Black Friday, if you want my link, I'd appreciate it, because I love free stuff, and the more free stuff I get, the happier I am. So if you want to use my link, shoot me a private message. I'll get that to you. I really appreciate it. If you don't want me to use my link, you won't hurt my feelings. I think it's cool software anyway. So appreciate you guys. I love you. Jesus loves you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Have an absolutely awesome Saturday. Black Friday. I'm glad it's over with. Cyber Monday's coming on Monday. Can't wait to see you guys on Sunday at noontime, high noon Central. It's going to be cool. It's going to be an experiment. We'll see how it works. I will see you tomorrow. Peace out. Bye-bye.